starting to feel like Formula One is I don't understand the rules.
The greatest Formula One champion of all time.
And Formula One is that it's like a traveling
circus of Spain
and adrenaline.
Except I am from Formula.
People know NASCAR, but people don't, because Formula One is like, it's a whole different thing.
Box and Picker from, and welcome to the Redefined F1 show where we take American subtitles and put it on the sport of Formula One. I'm your host, Frederick Kernigan. With me, as always, my co-host, Michael Timmerman.
What's going on?
Today, during the summer break, the first weekend that we'll have away from F1 for 3 weeks, we're going to do not really a mid-season report because we're past the 50% point, but we're going to do a summer break review of our predictions from the beginning. Looking at it, me and Timmy don't really know what we're talking about, but that's okay because we're still confident. It's only halfway through.
We're as good as any other F1 analytic.
We would be like how they randomly bring Max Kellerman in for like basketball. Like,
or
dude,
Stephen A. Smith for like MMA. He's like,
yes.
And he was throwing that punch really well as he knocked him out. Like,
yes.
Thanks, Stephen.
Yeah. However, before we get to the review of it, we're going to start off with what's our favorite moment from this season. I'll go first. Personally, my favorite moment was when Perez won Monaco. I didn't watch the race. So some of you are like, how could that be your favorite moment if you haven't watched the race? I was camping and there's no connection, but I was still trying to keep up. The bathroom, for whatever reason, had Wi-Fi. So every time I'd sneak over there, just a quick Wi-Fi check. And as soon as Sunday happened, I checked Twitter. I was scrolling. It took forever to update. And all of a sudden, I see Checo's beautiful face holding up the Monaco trophy. And I was like, no ways this man won. So I sprinted from the bathroom all the way back to our campsite. And I was calling my girlfriend. I was like, babe, Checo won. And her and her mom were having a conversation. And I was like, what's happening? Who won? Was there a thing? To me, that was my favorite moment of the season thus far. What's been your moment, your highlight?
My favorite moment this season was the finale of the Silverstone race. Thank you, safety car, because it provided the last 15 laps of that race to be amazing.
Yes, hands
Obviously,
down.
like the best part of the season, best
Yes.
race of the season so far. We'll see if it gets topped.
I don't think anyone would argue with you with that statement saying Silverstone was the best race of the season. And especially those last 10 laps, those are for sure the best 10 laps of the season thus far.
Yeah.
I think, or we took it out, but my favorite overtake of the season came from that finale. The Lewis goes through. Those are our favorite moments. Time to get to our really, really accurate predictions. We're basically 100% right besides the ones we got wrong. So before we get into my 10 and Timmy's 10, I'm going to quickly run through the actual current top 10 of each team, or first the teams, and then the top 10 of the drivers, because 20 names will just end up being a whole name salad, and we don't want to put you guys through that. So we're keeping it to the top 10 for teams and for drivers. So currently in the 2022 season, the constructor standings are as follows: Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine, McLaren, Alfa Romeo, Haas, Alpha Tauri, Aston Martin, and Williams. I'll share my top 10. What I had predicted in the beginning of the season, I had Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren, Aston Martin, Alpha Tauri, Alpine, Williams, Alpha, and Haas rounding out the constructors. So right off the bat, top three wrong already. I have the top three, like the right teams, wrong order. I think as the Red Bull fanboy in me, I'm mad at myself a few months ago for not just throwing them up at number one, because then I would have been right sitting where I'm at right now. But, you live and you learn. I said Mercedes. I think the top three, I'm not super far off. But then going on to number 4 with McLaren, I am still confident that will be correct at the end of the season. I know McLaren and Alpine are in an intense battle for 4th and 5th, but I do think that with the drama going on in Alpine right now, McLaren will somehow do some spicy stuff. And I don't mean like bad spicy stuff, but I feel like they're going to get pretty good point scoring things towards the end of the season, and they'll sneak the 4th place. My biggest miss was Aston Martin. I had them as 5th. I basically, looking at it now, I predicted Aston Martin to be what Alpine is right now. We can see how that is. They are sometimes the slowest car on the grid that isn't driven by Nicholas Latifi, because he's in his own world, cruising at the back. Alex is doing his damnedest, but when it comes to Aston Martin, their car, I don't know how they score points sometimes. It amazes me, but they do. So yeah, Aston Martin is my biggest miss. What's your top 10?
So my completely accurate and correct top 10 is Ferrari at 1, and then we got Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, Alpine, AlphaTauri, Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo, Williams, and then Haas rounding it off. So, I mean, you had Aston Martin, which is your biggest miss, but mine was Haas. No respect whatsoever at the beginning of the season. Just completely said, guaranteed, only things for sure happening. Haas, 10th place, maybe 3 points. And it's like, oh, they actually are really good this year.
I don't remember what we said, but I'm pretty sure it was borderline disrespectful, and we were just counting out a Formula One team that is comprised of a bunch of professionals and really smart people. We're like, nah, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
We buried Haas and then spat on their grave.
And we're Americans.
How much we disrespected them. Like, oh my gosh. But yeah, biggest miss. We're sorry, Haas. We're sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry. As Americans, we apologize. Please send us some Mick merch.
But that's the most American way it gets, is we trash talk our team because we know we deserve better.
Yes.
We shamed them into being better, and it worked, dang it. Bullying works. But for my top 3 again, had the same teams, wrong order. Ferrari's still going to be number 1. That's going to happen by the end of the season. I'm still confident, not really, but I have to be. I have to pretend.
If all the races were cut short by like 10 laps.
Shut up. Yes, I know. Or if, like, we had anyone that wasn't a goldfish on the pit wall that would had some brain cells that could put together a plan that a monkey could put.
It amazes me that Red Bull has one Hannah, because that's the name of their strategist. I forget her last name, but one Hannah greater than a bunch of Italians who don't know what they're doing. They're like, should we pit him? Should we not? I think we should put him now. What tires are we putting on? Doesn't matter. Put them on.
Just got too many chefs in the kitchen.
Too many chefs. And then over at Red Bull, it's the Hannah cooking show.
Yeah. But on a serious note, the 2 predictions I feel most confident about is McLaren and Alpine at 4 and 5.
The one I'm the most disappointed in guessing is Red Bull at 3.
Yeah. That was but you got to think, before the season, everyone was still like, oh, Mercedes, like, preseason testings, whatever. Like,
everyone was like, ooh, no side pods, they're gonna be fast.
It took 5 races to be like, oh shoot, Mercedes isn't coming back. But now, like, we're halfway through the season, it's like, Mercedes, they're coming back. So it's just a roller coaster. Adds to the excitement and the thrill of being an F1 fan, because every race you have no idea what's going to happen.
I don't know, I think it was the 3rd race where you and I were already singing Charles, it's a wrap. Charles is running away with this thing.
Yeah.
And now Max is an 80-point lead. But I think that's a perfect segue into our review of the top 10 driver standings right now. The 2022 Formula One driver standings. It goes as Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, George Russell, Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris, Esteban Ocon, Valtteri Bottas, and rounding out the top 10 is our favorite elder Spanishman, Fernando Alonso. Right into my top 10. Of course, I guessed Max 1, so I'm 1 for 1. We could stop the list there. We don't need to discuss it, but we will anyways. 2, I have Lewis Hamilton. 3, Carlos Sainz over his teammate Charles Leclerc. 5th, I had George Russell. 6th is Checo Perez. 7th, I had Lando Norris. 8th, Pierre Gasly. 9th, Daniel Ricciardo. And finally, top 10, I had our favorite soon-to-be retiree, Sebastian Vettel. I have 2 correct in the Max as 1 and Lando at 7th, and the rest are wrong. I really, really missed the point on 2 of, I guess my bottom 3 are all really big misses, but going off of number of spots that I've missed, Gasly was my biggest miss, as I guessed him as 8, but he's currently 13th. So that's a five place miss. But the one that I'm the most confident in is George finishing 5th. But what's your top 10, Timmy?
So at number 1, Lewis Hamilton. Oh man. Okay. And then 2, we have Max. And then we go Charles, Carlos, George Russell, Sergio Perez, Lando Norris at 7, Gasly and Daniel, and then Fernando Alonso rounding out the top 10. So only got 2 correct, with Lando at 7 and Alonso at 10. My biggest miss, if it wasn't obvious enough, is Lewis Hamilton winning the championship. And he is currently in 5th place, right? 5th place?
Yes, he's currently 5th.
No, 6th. Currently
Yes,
6th.
it's currently 6th. Sorry.
And is not even close to challenging first. So
Yes.
Huge miss on my part. I thought Mercedes was going to be a lot better. I thought Lewis wasn't going to be bitching and moaning about his car for like the first 5 races, as George Russell's like, it's fine. I'm top 5 every time. Like
every time.
Completely fine. And then obviously Gasly and Daniel Ricciardo. They just didn't. They're not performing this year.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Is we thought they were going to take a step forward, but they seem to be taking step backs.
I do think it's unfair that in the Formula One world, or like media sphere, the Formula One media sphere, I do think it's disrespectful that not a lot of people are acknowledging the Pierre Gasly. Like he's struggling this season.
Yeah.
All the camera lenses, all the analysts, any commentator on F1 is just grilling Daniel. And as of recording right now, he's currently in that whole debacle with the McLaren seat and the Oscar Piastri nonsense. So it's like everyone is just looking at Daniel Ricciardo and Pierre Gasly sneaking away to go like some things on Instagram and continue to struggle. I don't know. I think if we're going to call one driver out for his crap, we should call out all drivers. So that's my little take on Pierre Gasly not getting hate.
Well, think of it like this. So you have the Jets who stink and they get all the hate from the media. But then you also have the Detroit Lions. And everyone is just like, well, we don't care about the Lions. So even though they suck, we're not going to talk about them. But the Jets, oh, screw the Jets. So I feel like that's kind of how this situation is.
I mean, you're not like that's. I would say like you're closer to right than being wrong. So yes,
Pierre's
I
on
understand
the second team of Red Bull, and he likes my Instagram post. So how can I talk bad?
How can I hate about it or hate on him? Yeah.
But Daniel,
yeah.
You broke my heart too many times. That's what it is. We all have man crushes on him, and he just broke our hearts.
Dude, he's a good dude.
Yeah. I think that's me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's like, dang it, Daniel. We wanted you to keep racing. Now you can't because you sucked.
I will, before we move on, I do want to give you credit, because guessing the top maybe like 6 is pretty easy. because then you already have your big three teams going into the season.
Clearly pretty easy as we went 1 for 12.
But we have the names. Like the
Yeah,
top six, the names are correct. They're just in the wrong order.
Yeah, you're right.
Your number 10, I would have not expected Alonso to be 10th. And so for you to guess that, El Plan is still at number 10, I think that's more impressive than me getting Max, and both of us I got Lando. So I feel like
I haven't told anyone this, but I was actually at the board meeting of El Plan, so I know I knew what was gonna happen.
Timmy was actually the guy that Alpine gave the job to have Fernando Alonso resign. So they sent Timmy to Alonso's house, and Alonso was like, "Who are you?" No, I'm going to go with Lawrence. Who is this Michael guy?
If anything, I was the one that convinced him to leave Alpine because chaos, it brings entertainment, and I'm all for it.
I love the chaos that's currently going on with the silly season, but that's a conversation for another time. So obviously, looking back at each of our top 10 predictions, Tim and I don't know what we talk about most of the time. We just spew nonsense. The thing that we do know something about, and we are probably not experts, but I would say we're connoisseurs of these things. The memes, the Formula One memes. If you head over to our Instagram at REDEFINED, it is full. Timmy does a very good job of putting out fantastic memes. He goes and scours the internet for you guys just to bring you the cream of the crop memes. However, we can only have one each of our favorite meme up until this point. What is your favorite meme, Master Timmy?
First, okay, thank you for correcting yourself. I at least am a meme expert.
Yes.
So
I only dabble in the memes. I'm not gonna lie. There have been a handful of memes.
Yeah, but don't throw me in the boat. I'm out here surfing.
We are a F1 team, okay?
Hey,
if one person's struggling, the whole team's struggling, all right?
That's not true.
Yes,
that's not true.
We are in the boat of Aston Martin. Seb's doing good. That's a sucking, but they're all ass.
But one's a higher, more respected rank.
Fair enough.
Anyways. So from the opinion of a meme expert, and this, it kind of goes with it because every time I see it, it hurts just a little bit more. And that's what makes a meme so good. The Ferrari strategy memes, aka the Ferraris never having a strategy memes, are the best memes going on throughout this whole season.
I think
it's just endless supply, week in, week out, another race thrown, another mistake like that happened, and then they go, there's no issues. We have no problems on this team. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like if we don't open our eyes and look around, we won't know that there's problems, or we can't see the problems. But yeah, those are the best memes going on this season.
I think what makes the Ferrari strategy memes really good, you could just use the same meme over and over. Because it's literally you could use the I mentioned earlier, the SpongeBob, his mind going crazy, everything's on fire. You could use that meme. But my favorite one was the meme format that I thank God died a couple of weeks ago, but it was like Little Miss blah blah blah, or Little Miss or whatever. Yeah. My favorite was seeing one that looked like Matteo Bonato with the circle glasses, curly hair. Little Mister, there are no problems.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That one, I was like, I hate this meme format because it got old real quick, but this is a quality one right here. My favorite meme up until this point, we had mentioned earlier when we were talking about our constructors predictions that we are apologizing to Haas. And so as a token of my apology, I have to give the Steiner ship meme my meme of the season so far. Because every time Haas does good, Luther Steiner gets a bigger boat. And I really hope at the end of the season, this man is whipping a yacht or even like a cruise boat. Because right now he's at like a fishing vessel, but like a nice one. I would say he's like past like the little putt motor. I think he's at like a cover, a few GPSs here and there. But I think we need to just continue this progress and get Steiner or get Gunther like a Titanic that doesn't sink.
Yeah, I want Gunther on a Jeff Bezos sized yacht by the end of the season.
Yes.
Another great meme. I love the progression that people take into each week and how the
Yes.
boat continues to get bigger. And then when they have a down week, the boat then gets smaller and or sinking. So that's always great.
It's never gonna sink. Gunther's gonna scoop the water out.
And
He's
if it
not letting this
does,
thing go down.
the captain goes down with the ship as
Yeah.
always.
And he's just gonna go like this as he sinks into the abyss.
But yeah, that's also a good meme. I don't believe there's any really other reoccurring memes so far this season.
Throughout the season, none that I can think of.
None that are like quality, at least.
Yeah.
Oh, L Plan. I mean, that's been going on.
I like how that has turned in from a meme into a conspiracy theory. Because L Plan is actually L Plan for Lawrence's plan.
That's what makes it such a good meme.
Yeah.
Is now
Like-
people are like, wait a minute, they've been trying to tell us something this whole time.
Like J. Cole said, like J. Cole said, all good jokes contain true shit. It started off as a joke, and all of a sudden we're gonna have like the greatest villain duo of all time. Big money bag Stroll and L Plan.
Does that mean Goat Teefy is gonna become a reality?
He's gonna win the last race of the season and save his Williams seat.
That's the other ongoing meme that's always funny. Is
I
Goat
like
Teefy.
how it never dies. It always just kind of like it's there. But then it's just like a huge spike when he like randomly like led a FP like a practice session. I'm like, no way,
Practice
bro.
one, and everyone's like, Goat Teefy is here, man. He's
So
taking over.
I think that was a race for us Americans that were super, super early. So the practices were even earlier.
Yeah.
And so I had seen the meme before I had seen the result. And so I was like, Go Tiffy won. Who photoshopped this? This is really good. This looks like it's actually done. And then I went on Instagram and I saw the F1 page post the top 3 from that practice session. I'm like, it's not a joke. It's real. He is evolving.
he has reached his next phase.
He's hitting Ultra Instinct. No, but Goat Tiffy will never die, even when he is long gone from the sport. His name is like White Mamba, Brian Scalabrine. It's just always there. But to wrap up the episode, we have 2 more things. We have our biggest surprise of the season, and then just a quick note on why we haven't been recording these past couple weeks or past few months. My biggest surprise, I think, would have to be George Russell handling the pressure that he is so far, or like how well he's handled the pressure. Because in the beginning of the season, I thought it was disrespectful how everyone was giving Lewis the I'm sorry, Lewis treatment, while no one was giving George his flowers, because the man
5th place once again. I'm here. I got 5th place again.
Yeah, it's like, hey, George here again, top 5. No one was singing his praises, and I think that was disrespectful by the whole F1 media sphere. We should have gave that boy a lot more shine, but he, up until this point, has handled everything that he has had to and has excelled. And he's basically like, once Lewis goes, if George does well, like, is actually fighting for championships and whatnot, I think he could steal Lewis's like spotlight as F1's poster boy, because he's good for the kids, always like, straight edge, never like rides the line of anything. He's a funny guy. He's a good racer. So I think he's just being exactly what Mercedes needed him to be.
What's wrong with Max being the poster child?
No, people hate his dad. No one hates George's dad.
There's another reason. We won't talk about it, but we know. We know why Max can't be a poster child. A man's just built to race. He ain't built to do anything.
He doesn't like media or anything. He's just like, I came here to race. He hates press conferences. That's why he gets
like the Bill Belichick of F1. He's like, stop asking these dumb questions. Yeah, George, honestly, I thought Mercedes car was going to carry him into like the top 5, top 6, like driver's place, but he himself has been putting that car and Mercedes up ahead. He's been pretty much dragging that team up until like recently.
Yes.
So yeah, huge surprise there. For me though, it's another second driver, but on Red Bull, Sergio Perez. We both had him in 6th place at the beginning of the season, and he has blown, I feel like, everyone's expectation of him out of the waters with how he's been performing. Yes, the car is like probably the best car on the grid, but he still has been he in the beginning of the season was making it hard, at least as a fan, to be like, why are we letting Max go through so easily? Like Sergio has the pace, Sergio's doing well, like why can't we let him just see what happens? But Red Bull, I mean, they're in first for a reason. They know what they're doing. They're a lot smarter than I am.
They have a Hannah, that's why.
Yeah. Hannah's way smarter than I am.
Yes.
Without a doubt. So she knows what she's doing. But Sergio has been impressing me, even though he's having a little skid recently. This whole season he's proved to me he's not just the minister of defense. He's a minister of winning races and overtaking.
Yes. To continue your point on Sergio, I think the fact that he is the tire god really helped him in the beginning, because as we saw, all the teams, like it wasn't really a big talking point in the beginning of the season, but towards like the middle section of the races, everyone is like, we really don't know these tires. Tires are like, the talking point now. And the man's the god of the tires. So that I'm sure that really helped him. Like while everyone was trying to figure out what to do, how to push the tires, how to warm it up, he's just like, I've talked to the tires. They told me what to do. I've whispered sweet nothings. We're going to go 50 laps long. Yeah. So I feel like that really helped him get off to a hot start. And now, like you said, his skid has begun. So hopefully he can stop it and continue to surprise us, because I love this Checo content.
Yeah. You just wait until Mexico to bring it back.
Dude, if he wins Mexico, nuts. That country's shutting down. That country is shutting down.
And we're partying the whole week.
Checo's dad is going to lead all the celebrations for a month long. It's going to be great. But those were our mid-season review. We went ahead and reviewed our very, very accurate, semi-wrong predictions.
100% accurate.
It's
still mid-season. It's going to come true.
It's still mid-season. None of these are 100% written off. Like Max might have an 80-point lead, but I don't want to jinx anything because I'm a big Max fan. So I'm just going to stop my statement right there.
Lewis goes through.
No. If Lewis somehow wins this championship, the toxicity that will come from his fans will push me out of the sport, bro.
I will 100% become an LH44 fan. I can join the wave of toxicity.
If Lewis wins purely because of his fans, I'm gonna go watch IndyCar. I'm gonna change this podcast to an IndyCar podcast. But that those were our prediction reviews, and also our few awards here and there. But before we wrap up the episode, just a quick note on why we haven't posted anything. As you can see, new background for myself, as well as a man bun. I went through a little bit of a samurai training arc, so here we are. Timmy's also had a crazy busy schedule, so we just took a break from the podcast side of things, but we still have an Instagram, we still have a TikTok, and we're still doing things. So stick with us. We're only two 20-some-year-olds who are brand new to the sport, trying to get more people into the sport. It's a team of us versus these huge corporations and huge media teams. So, we're going to bring you guys a lot more content as the second half of the season gets underway. And I think in a few weeks, we might even have a renewed prediction episode, maybe. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, anything to say before we close, Timmy?
Kind of just to continue off, we're two young adults trying to figure out our lives, doing this podcast and social media stuff as a hobby on the side. Meanwhile, these other people that's their job. That's what they get paid to do. So stay with us. If you like our content and want to see more, it obviously encourage us a lot more and gives us a lot more motivation if we hear it from you guys with comments and likes and all that stuff. So it's like, let us know. And just, yeah, we're doing big things. We're gonna do big things here. So just stay with us, stay patient, and we're only gonna get better as time goes on.
Yes. If you want to, I had mentioned earlier, you want to go and see some crisp F1 memes, go ahead and give our Instagram a follow at REDEFINED. If you want to see some really hot takes apparently on Formula One liveries, go ahead and follow us on TikTok, where I get cooked for saying the Turo P34 is garbage. But
King of misses.
But with all that being said, the king of misses and Michael Timmerman are checking out. You guys have a good one.
Explain the difference.
Yeah, Formula One is the pinnacle of motorsport.